VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what in the world is going to happen in the Royal Rumble? Before we get too deep in this, we're trying to get to 300 subs. We're at like 260. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. So if you like what we do here, we talk sports, we talk wrestling, we talk even some conspiracy theories, as we did in our video about the Bucks and the Lions game. But please, if you like what we do, like the video and subscribe. We want to get to 300 subscribers, and I would appreciate if you do that. So the Royal Rumble is coming up this weekend. If you would ask me who's going to win the Royal Rumble, let's say, August, September, before CM Punk came back, or before there was even a possibility of CM Punk coming back, before that whole incident happened with him and Jack Perry over in AEW, my favorites would have been LA Knight and Gunther. Now, since then, obviously CM Punk's not only come back, but The Rock has come back. Not only with a couple of segments, but now he's a part of the board. And hell, his daughter is now the GM of NXT. So we see The Rock is already making an impact, whether you consider it nepotism or not. Whatever the case is, The Rock is already impacting things on the screen. So with those two having come back, I feel like those two are kind of two of the favorites along with Cody Rhodes. Now, the reason I would have said Gunther or LA Knight is because I feel like those are the only new quote-unquote characters that have been made, even though Gunther kind of was around last year. But the past year, Gunther and LA Knight have had the biggest rises of any two characters. Now, LA Knight is obviously going to be in a championship match, fatal four-way with Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and AJ Styles, so he's probably not going to win. Yeah, you do see guys who lose the championship match in the Royal Rumble. It does happen, but he's probably not going to win. Now, Gunther, I have heard rumors of. There's a chance he might win and challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Otherwise, though, if you said, because I know some of you are degenerate gamblers, yes, you can gamble on wrestling, and the Royal Rumble is one of the few things that people do gamble on. People gamble on the WrestleMania card too. But if you're that much of a degenerate and you said, Vigilante, who should I put money on? I'd go with The Rock. I think The Rock is back. He's a part of the board, or at least TKO's board, which is the parent company. On top of that, they need to keep the momentum going. They need to keep the public energy going. They just signed this massive deal with Netflix, and The Rock's come back. And I feel like the biggest, splashiest victor of the Royal Rumble is The Rock. That would be my first pick. Second, probably Cody. As much as, like I said, I probably would have went personally with a Gunther or a LA Knight. There's a lot of hype about that finish the story. They're marketing the game off of that. So I really think Cody is probably my second pick. And then CM Punk as my third pick. Those will be my top three guys that I would pick. But like I said, Gunther's not out of it. He could face Seth Rollins. And we don't know what's going to happen with Seth Rollins. Obviously, he has this knee injury going on. He said he'll be out until WrestleMania. So we don't know what's happening with him. I've heard people say that the knee injury, while still serious, is maybe not quite as serious as a lot of people have feared. And we'll see if that's going to be impactful. And really, there's another question to be had about these Royal Rumble outcomes. What's going to happen with the titles themselves? What's going to happen with a guy like Damian Priest, who's held on to that Money in the Bank forever? Is he going to cash in on either champion at WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, anything like that? Before then, could we have a cash in that fatal four-way just to spice things up? I doubt it, but who knows? I wouldn't put too much stock in that. I'm just tossing scenarios out, potential scenarios out, but that's on the lower end of things. Should Roman continue with that belt? I don't know. I would say no, but who are they going to give it to in lieu of Roman? And that's probably the big question. If they give it to Cody, I can't help but to feel like the fans are going to turn on him. I remember the Daniel Bryan. Everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win, and obviously he had injuries, so he really didn't have that much time to defend the belts that he had won at WrestleMania 30. Shows you how long ago this was. But I feel like his star power kind of died off after he had won that WrestleMania. Like, we wanted to see him win it, we didn't necessarily want to see him as champion. There's some guys like that, even Mick Foley back in the day. Yeah, you wanted to see him win it. Maybe he could have had longer runs, but you know, certain guys we just want to see win the championship. We don't necessarily want to see them hold the championship. And I feel like Cody could be one of those guys. I would love him to prove me wrong. I don't hate Cody. I'm not an anti-Cody guy. But I feel like the fans, after he win, you know, a lot of that interest level, you know, is over because he's completed the story. There's nothing else to do. There's nowhere else to go. Maybe the answer is for Cody Rhodes to win, beat Roman, and then get cashed in on. So he has completed the story, but he still has that babyface chase going on after Damian Priest. But then again, does Damian Priest deserve the title? Either title. I don't know. And that's why it's like, you know what? Maybe just keep it on Roman. And then what about Seth's title? It looks like we were going to a CM Punk Seth Rollins clash, which is why Punk is still a great option to win the Royal Rumble. But do you want to give the championship to Punk? Let's be honest, in his AEW run, he got a lot of injuries. He didn't look quite as sharp as he did back in the day. Is he really good enough to be a world champion? Say what you will about Seth, but he's defended this belt a lot. He's been a workers champion, a wrestlers champion. He's been somebody who defended the belt a lot. That was the whole point of this belt. Because Roman's not going to be on TV as much. You need a world champion on TV defending the title. Is he going to be able to keep up with what Rollins has done to set the pace for this new world title? I don't know. I don't think so, honestly. Then there's another question. Maybe you give Cody that belt instead of having him go for Roman. And this is why this is what I actually think is going to happen. I think The Rock is going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going to challenge Roman. He's going to lose to Roman. Yes, he's going to lose to Roman. Roman's going to keep that belt. And then I think you're going to have Cody, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins in a triple threat. I'm not the only one to come up with that. There's a lot of people who have put that together, especially with the promo battle that Cody and Punk just had on Monday and the promo battles that Punk and Seth have had. And then you have that triple threat, and maybe Cody takes it from there, and then maybe Damian Priest cashes in on him, and then Cody chases back to get that belt at a later date. That's kind of what I feel is going to happen, not just for the Royal Rumble, but for WrestleMania. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on Royal Rumble? Do you have any dark horse contenders that could win the Royal Rumble? Like I said, Gunther is still being tossed out there. He's who I would have had win it if nobody had came back. But I feel like Rock is the best guy. Rock is the guy who gives you the most attention. He gives you the most clout. He's the one, you know, all this momentum from this week. He's returning for the board and this big Netflix deal. You want to keep that momentum going. You want to try to hype everybody up for WrestleMania season. I feel like Rock is the guy. But what do you think? I know a lot of people don't like him. He's a part-timer, so is Punk. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.